Ladies and gentlemen, a special announcement from Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Greetings, loyal subjects of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and others. Welcome to this very special edition of Core Blimey! What could have caused this to happen? I am Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber, the composer of the Broadway musical Cats. Now, what you're about to see is an hilarious skewering of the filmic version of that motion picture, Cats! I, of course, was involved and expected to make just a ton of money. Before you see this special live podcast, I'd like to set the record straight on one or two things. There are certain things that the musical, the Broadway stage musical is responsible for, and there are certain things that the filmic adaptation is responsible for. Now then, the Broadway musical is responsible for not explaining what a Jellicle cat is, ever. You understand? Entertainment was in its infancy. People were willing to pay top dollar to watch unknown actors put on unitards and paste whiskers on their faces, walk out on stage and say, I'm a Jellicle cat, won't tell you what that is, here's my name, here's what I do, and then they fuck off out of it, and another one comes in and does exactly the same thing. Repeat until the Glamourpuss Grisabella is raised to cat heaven on an old tire. Now then, here is what the film is responsible for. All dialogue. We didn't have dialogue on the stage show. Everyone was doing cocaine. It was a break from talking. Cockroaches. We didn't have them on the stage. We shouldn't have had them in the film. They just shouldn't be. Taylor Swift's accent. Jason Derulo. He's fine in the film, I think. I just wanted to do the meme. Mucus. There's an unfortunate amount of mucus in the film. We did not have the mucus on stage. Backstage, of course. Ooh, buckets of the stuff. Judi Dench, Jim Halperting into the camera multiple times at the end. I don't know what she's doing. She's a dame. You can't tell them anything. And finally, the uncanny valley of all of it, the weirdness, the terrible feeling in your stomach as you watch it, hoping that these things are not real. Now then, enjoy a little nibble of whatever substance alters your personality completely. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this special live episode of What in the world? Did you see that this has come into existence? Is there any explanation? This is Andrew Lloyd Webber signing off.
People, hold on to your buttholes and your cat buttholes. We saw cats, so you know what that means.
Schwarzenegger grow a baby in his belly, rock a rhinestone vest while whipping Justin to Kelly. Or maybe see a burlesque show with Nick Crow and take a boat with speed to hitting cruise control. Jay Lynn, Big Paul, and the beautiful June. Gonna take you from the groove all the way to the room. Rain the games of Street Fighter, help to blow off steam. Just a sucker punch the odd life of Timothy Green. Shot me in the birdemic, how we staying alive. They call me when they're badass and he's on the line. Cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice. Cause the bad Jim Varney looking kinda nice. All the June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots getting paid. They're just a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you, how did this get made? That's a good look.
Yes, hello people of Earth and hello virtual people of the world. This is our very first live virtual show. We are in the middle of some intense tech issues. Hopefully everything will work out perfectly. But speaking of tech issues, what better show to have tech issues than to talk about the film Cats, because Cats is one giant technical issue. I mean, really, people, I cannot wait to talk about this film with you. I mean, it is a Jellicle night for a Jellicle podcast about some Jellicle damn cats. I don't know what Jellicle means, but tonight we're going to try to get to the bottom of that and so many other questions. Let's do it, people. Let's break it all down the best way I know how by introducing my co-host, Mr. Jason Mantzoukas. Welcome, Jason.
Fuck you.
Whoa, hey.
People. Not you,
wow.
Paul. Not
okay,
you, Paul.
Okay, thank
I'm here. I'm talking to the audience. I'm talking to you motherfuckers who made me 7 months into isolation watch Cats. I don't have the emotional capacity to have just watched Cats. This
Jason,
is an act of aggression.
This is the salve that we all need to get through the time that we are in.
I swear to God, if goddamn anybody says the word Jellicle, I'm gonna have a complete nervous breakdown. I don't have it. I don't have it left. I don't have anything left to give. And you made me watch what is I think a war crime.
It is definitely an assault on all the senses. And I'm saying that in taste and smell, which this movie does not necessarily have, but my senses felt assaulted.
I watched it. I just watched it. I feel unwell. I feel unclean. I feel like a way that if I felt this way in normal circumstances, I would take myself to the hospital to say, what is wrong with me? But I can't do that. I can't just walk into an ER right now and be diagnosed with fucking cat's fever or whatever I just got. But this was a stone cold nightmare.
Well, look, I normally at the top of the show will try to break down what the movie is in case you've not seen the movie. I can't really do that with this film.
This is nothing.
I don't understand it.
This is not, there is no plot. This movie is just a series of introductions of cats that then immediately leave the movie. What the fuck is this? What is this nightmare?
I will say this much. I didn't realize until about almost an hour and 40 minutes in that there is not a single spoken word in this film until like one line, I believe.
Yeah, barely. And it doesn't seem, they don't seem to distinguish between what should be spoken and what should be sung. It's arbitrary. The word ineffable is sung so many times.
You can't put ineffable in a music. What are you doing?
You can't put, that's a straight brag from Andrew Lloyd Webber. That's a straight brag being like, I'm not going to just put ineffable in here once. I'm going to put it in a lot. I'm going to fucking drown you in dumb words, in dumb songs with basic, fuck this movie. I wish I'd been able to see buttholes. But give me buttholes. Give me buttholes. Give me pat buttholes that I can watch to distract me from the nightmare that is this movie.
We're going to pick it apart, and we're slightly stalling right now because June is still going through some technical issues, but I'll say this to you, Jason.
I'm on fire.
I have so much, there's so much to say, and I'm so happy that we're doing this in a visual medium for people that are here tonight, because we're going to have to, I don't want to
have to relook at any of it. I don't want to have to look at, I don't want to see cats ever again. I don't want to hear cats ever again. I don't want to hear these songs ever again. I don't ever want to hear the word Jellicle or Rum Tum Tugger. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear these names.
This movie is gross. Not since the Garbage Pail Kid have I felt a disgust. Yes. And I tell you, I hate those fucking tails and I hate those ears. They're moving way too much. You know what?
You would think you would almost think, hey, maybe there's something sexy about these cats dancing and walking around and, dancing and doing all their biz. No, there's nothing sexy about these cats. It is unnerving.
Not even naked Idris Elba at the very end of the film. It's
Idris.
Upset. Oh, Idris.
Like, I was like, oh no, they got Idris? Oh no.
All right, well, let's bring in a person who's going to have a lot to say. My other co-host, Miss June Diane Raphael. Welcome, June. How are you?
Oh my gosh. Oh my word. Oh my Lord.
We've already been on a journey.
We have. I'm happy to be here. Wow. I've I've been over here like a curious kitten waiting to get on.
June, no.
I have like a curious cat. And I want to talk about the cat physicality.
June, stop it. Stop it.
That happened in this movie, and because it came and went. It came and it went.
Well,
there was sort of like there were no rules to when cats were cats and when they were just sort of talking like people.
Well,
Agreed.
Can I just say that the actors in this movie went to cat school? Did you know that they studied cats?
No, they didn't.
I would like to.
No,
if they did, it would have been a better. If they did, it would have been a better movie. You're telling me
I'm going to show you.
You're
I'm
saying
show
like
you
Walking Dead when they go to like zombie school?
First of all, how do you know about The Walking Dead?
I know things.
Huge reveal from June.
I mean, this is what you just said was the most shocking thing out of your mouth.
I almost feel like we should stop the show to just talk about this right now.
Listen, I've never seen it, but I did. I have a desire. So what's interesting about that is like I have a desire. I have a desire to go to cat school.
Okay.
Like I have a desire.
Well,
I miss being in acting school. I miss like being seaweed on the ground and like all of the weird shit.
I will
you
say,
did an acting conservatory.
I applied to Cat University and I did not get in.
Oh, meow.
Did not get in.
Meow.
So I have a deep interest in like zombie school.
You're a Jella no cat. Go ahead.
Take a look at a little bit of Cat School.
Oh God, do we have to?
If you told me I was going to get to go to cat school every day for work, what?
And I'm like, how does a human portray being a cat? Learning about cats and their mannerisms and body language and their way of communication, what it all meant was so helpful.
God.
This lovely lady, Sarah, who just makes us super
I can't
aware
believe,
of
Idris,
the way
what are you
cats
doing, buddy?
move and what their instincts are.
Sarah, who worked with all the cast
Cat
over
movement
weeks
special.
on what we called organic cat, which means
Tom
sort of not
Hooper, shame on you.
Organic cat.
What does happiness look like? Why was Isabella called the glamour cat? And how much of that is left in her now that she's broken down? And how do you put that into a cat?
It's very much about the senses.
All right, I'll stop the clip there.
Okay, stop. Wait a second. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. So, okay, because I want to start at the very beginning.
I want to stop. I want to stop the whole podcast. I want to walk away.
Okay, I want to end this. I thought for sure the narrative here, the story, what I'm going to walk away with is going to be so much more than about, like, the story is going to be much more than just about cats.
How wrong you were.
Turns out...
When you say story, June, when you say story, what do you mean by that? When you say,
so here's
I
the
thought
thing.
the
So
story was going to be more about it. Because I'm asking only because repeatedly through my notes, I wrote, what is the story of this movie? What is the plot that these songs are meant to illustrate?
Well, I wrote down in my notes, I said this, I go, can we just stop for a second and just comprehend that this is not a bad movie. This is a movie that is a full-on adaptation of one of the longest running Broadway musicals. This is they didn't change much. It wasn't like, they adapted it weirdly. This was on Broadway longer than most things ever.
Real question. I have a real question for both of you.
What's up?
Going into this movie, did you know that the cats were supposed to be scaled to the size of real cats?
Well, that's not true.
The cats in this movie are the scale of regular house cats.
No, nothing is rightly scaled because sometimes there's like a cemetery plot that's 10 foot tall, and then they're next to.
The movie's trying to tell us that the movie
like
also
Hobbit style.
The movie also lets cats arbitrarily walk on hind legs and walk on all fours. Who cares? Like there are no rules. But when it occurred to me, when they framed up on pieces of the movie where the cats were in scale, when it's the Rebel Wilson scene and she's in a giant kitchen, I was fuck this movie forever. Fuck everything forever. Like I can't live like this.
Here's what's so weird though, because I was watching the movie and I was like, and by the way, I've never seen Cats on Broadway. Has anyone seen the show on Broadway? Okay.
No. but I've heard
And
it's
I
a
knew
faithful
enough,
adaptation.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I knew enough. I mean, I was a huge Les Mis fan growing up. I saw the show 16 times. I saw Phantom a number of times, but I did know to steer clear of cats. Like something in my body was reacting to the poster, so I knew enough.
Well, we grew up in New York, and I feel like I was inundated with ads when I would watch Regis and Kathy Lee, ads for Broadway.
All day long.
All day, because it was like local.
All day long.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
What? Regis and Kathy Lee?
Why, as a child, are you watching Regis and Kathy Lee so much?
Oh,
I watched Regis and Kathy Lee from first grade on.
It was the show to watch. It was like, I'm homesick. I get to watch Regis and Kathy Lee. It was like, it felt like late night TV.
That show for me was Get Smart, which was on at noon. You're telling me you wanted to stay home sick so you could watch Regis and Kathy Lee?
I would wake up on the summers. I would wake up at 8 a.m., head to Channel 7, Eyewitness News, and I would watch Lucy from 8 to 9 or 8 to 8:30 or 8:30 to 9, and then watch Regis.
Okay, wow. That's mind-blowing.
So the only thing that I know about Cats is like these commercials that they would air for Cats, and it would be like people coming out of the theater being like, I love Cats. Cats is amazing. And they would play the Memories song, and there was this like giant flying saucer, and like one of the cats is on a flying saucer, and it's like flying up to heaven, and all the other cats are like pawing at it like, and I was like,
yeah, that image of like a cat. This was the image that we saw, was like that. For years, for a decade, I saw that. And I thought, I mean, I knew to be a bit distrustful of Andrew Lloyd Webber. Like, I knew enough after seeing Phantom. I knew that he wasn't where it's at. But this,
wait a second,
because I kept on watching it and thinking, oh my God, like the musical, this must be such a poor adaptation of what was an incredible stage production.
No.
But halfway through, I was like, no, there's actually no way.
Every song is just an introduction of a cat, and every song's lyrics are just that cat's name and a couple of other lines repeated over and over and over again. It's like none of the songs illustrate character, illustrate theme, illustrate plot.
But in a way, Jason, as a dog person, I was like, actually, and listen, I know there's a lot of people watching this show right now, and I want to mind my P's and Q's, but as a dog person, I will say, it did seem like, well, that's all we can say. That's all we can say about cats is their name and like two things.
But wait a second. That Jellicle song, to me,
God.
That Jellicle song, they're all fucking, everyone's a Jellicle cat, right?
What's a Jellicle? What is a Jellicle? I'm not kidding. What's a Jellicle? Real talk right now. Tell me, what's a Jellicle?
Right. We actually do have a clip.
Okay, so I think a Jellicle... Because I want to say I saw the movie, I didn't do any research on it. I really wanted to come here and just have like an authentic, honest experience of the motion picture. But I did the same. I think you did too, Paul, because I know you show up with your little reports.
I have some reports, but I did not watch the clips because I really wanted to experience.
How little are your reports, Paul? Are they on tiny notebooks? I would love it if you pulled up like a little tiny book. Yes.
I got a lot of notes.
So I know you show up, but when I'm actually watching some of these movies with you, I know you're as baffled as I am.
Oh, I did not. Here's what I'm going to say. We do have an answer for what a Jellicle cat is. I don't know what that answer is, so I can enjoy this conversation with you.
Okay, great. So I think a Jellicle cat is a cat that can be reincarnated. So I think a Jellicle cat is a cat that can live many, many lives, and once it's done with its like time on this earth, can head out in a hot air balloon and then be born again.
I understand that, right? So let's say that that's true. So only the Jellicle cats are able to qualify for the ball that gives you some sort of transformative immortality, right?
Which they do like once a year, like it's a New Year's kind of tradition.
But Rebel Wilson is identified as a gummy cat.
Well, I wrote down
she's still part of the competition. She's not a Jellicle cat. But she's a gummy cat.
But gummy cats and curious cats and glamour cats and bravo cats are all Jellicle cats. Because here's my theory.
If this is true, I swear to God, I'm capable of murder.
Okay, so this is what I think it is. Every cat on this earth has the... Okay, I have not watched anything. I have not read anything. I purposely was like this. I believe this is a story about God. We are all made in the image of God. So we are all evangelical cats.
Whoa.
Like we all can be godlike.
What are you talking about?
That's what I think. And so we all so every one of us can ultimately be in the image of God.
Cat?
You could be a Jellicle. If you were in that world, we need to also figure out, are humans in this world? Because I have some questions about that.
Well, yes, because because that's who throws away the Victoria at the beginning of the movie.
A human. Who, by the way, just so you know, Jason, Paul thought that main cat was Taylor Swift for an hour and 15 minutes.
I didn't think it for that long, but at the beginning, I thought it because I knew she was in the movie. But
I still think it is.
But
Paul thought it for almost the entirety of the movie.
I still think it is.
The minute she spoke with a British accent, I was like, there is no way this is Taylor Swift.
When she was dancing around on Point.
Oh my God. By the way,
why are you disbelieving that if Taylor Swift put her mind to it, she could hit
Listen,
Point?
I am a Swiftie. I love Taylor Swift, but the one thing I appreciate about her is that she's kind of like a gangly, her posture's pretty bad. Like what she isn't is a dancer.
Well, but as far as I was concerned, this movie is essentially made with deep fake technology. It's basically just putting the faces of all these actors onto dancers' bodies, right? These people are not doing these motions. Dancers are, and just their faces are being swapped, right?
No. They went to cat school. They went to cat school.
The cat school can't teach Ian McKellen and Judi Dench how to dance like these cats.
But the dancing is so basic, though. There's one at the big, by the way, the big ball scene. At the big ball scene, they're literally going like 1, 2, 1, 2. It is completely.
It goes on forever. The moves.
I agree, but I don't think it's that great.
I said in my notes, I was like, it's so repetitive. It appears as though children wrote and choreographed all of this. Like, if you told me kids invented cats, I would believe you.
Okay, well, here's what I will say. I want to get to the Jellicle because before we get too far away from it.
There's something we're not understanding. What is a Jellicle cat?
Okay,
Paul?
let me get into that. I just want to just pop one thing that Jason said, which is this. This is a deep cut, but Francis Ford Coppola was given $20 million to make a ride for Disney World. It was called Captain EO, and it was Michael Jackson essentially as Han Solo. And that is a cocaine-fueled nightmare where it's we're making a Michael Jackson Star Wars movie. And it has the same exact energy of cats, and I feel like they were made at the same time. And I feel like this is a time when we were giving creators lots of money and they were just high as fucking kites. And I know that's a cheap way to say it, but I believe it.
Yes. This movie came out last year.
I know, but it's an adaptation. But it's an adaptation. They're just taking the thing.
Yes, but
anyway.
I think, Paul, that the stage production, having never seen it, I think it's much better. Because the problem is, here's what's so weird. I can imagine in terms of scale, small, regular,
I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe.
Cats. Cats that are made to scale look on stage when you see big, a big fire hydrant. That's interesting. That's okay. That's cool to look at. The weird thing about this movie is with the freedom of cinema, they don't tell a better story. Do not call this
cinema. Do not.
This is beyond cinema.
But I'm serious. If we were to see these costumes, okay. And
do
first
not
of all, there's
call
not
these
a single.
Costumes. Do not call these costumes.
Jason, there is not a single body type that looks good in these costumes.
These aren't costumes. This is all CG. It's all CG. There's no costumes.
Why are you saying that?
There
are costumes. They're wearing something over their bodies.
They look like they're wearing fucking sweatsuits. Can I just show you this one article that I pulled up? Because this is actually great. Averill Halley, one of our producers who helps find all these movies, she found this article. I want to show up article 2 here. This is what Jason Derulo had to say about his costume. So Jason Derulo says, much to his dismay, his penis in Cats is smaller than he would have liked. He goes, they CGI'd the dick out. Rum Tum Tiger thinks that he does not have.
Rum Tum Tugger, which is
Tugger.
a great character name for someone who wants his dick to be more featured.
Here's the thing, though. What's so strange about the fact that you can't see any like outlines of genitalia? I mean, I didn't know I would miss it as much as I did. Like, there was something so unsettling about seeing humans standing upright with
no
human
junk.
faces and cat ears with no breasts and no genitalia. There was it was unsettling.
All right,
Also this. I have a question. What's the point of clothes?
Okay,
tell me. Why
are
they wearing clothes sometimes? Check if you are a cat owner right now. Check your cat for a full body zipper and see if they can be unzipped to reveal more fur, but clothing underneath, because that happens in this movie.
She actually has 2 outfits on, but let's actually answer the question of what Jellicle is. This is Judi Dench.
I don't want to know. I don't even want to.
Here we go.
I believe you truly are a Jellicle cat. A Jellicle cat.
Why?
How is this part of the movie?
What?
She didn't really explain what it is. I guess I'm looking now here. She just said, I mean, it doesn't really.
My God. They don't explain it. You know what? I have an update. They don't explain it. They just say the word Jellicle upwards of 250 times in 1 hour and 50 minutes.
I'm going to say something else. I'm going to say something else, Paul. What I was looking forward to was the music. And there was only one moment in the movie.
Oh, I have that ready.
No, there was only one moment in the movie where I really enjoyed the music, and that's when Jennifer Hudson's voice was finally allowed to open up.
Here's the thing.
Only time. The rest of the movie is people talking like this and saying Jellicle, saying
this is
names,
a
saying
musical.
names of cats,
This is a
types
musical.
of cats,
The
railway
ball
cats,
is tonight.
beef cats,
Magic is
ninja
the cat.
cats, all
Here we
different types
go.
of cats.
Up and down.
Meow,
Here we go.
cat.
Around
I'm like,
the
can
town.
I
Cats, cats, cats. Here we go. Here we go.
You are a
cats.
cat.
Ring the
We
doorbell.
are
Steal
all
the
cats.
fish. Now I'm wearing a necklace. That's the fucking movie.
I want to hear singers sing.
When Jennifer Hudson sings, it's the only time there is emotion conveyed in the movie. When she sings both times, when she sings outside by the street post and when she sings inside, it is electric to watch because she is so compelling. She is so emotive. And what she's singing, I think, is an emotion-filled song. But
more emotive than the Rebel Wilson song?
More emotive than every single other person who sings, because everybody else is just singing, here we go, we're going over here, now we're over here, look in the door, the door is this, and here we go now, what's up?
Let's just give, if you ever see the movie, this is the best part of the movie. This is Jennifer Hudson's part that we just talked about here.
Fantastic. Unequivocal.
It's crazy to see her now. It's crazy to see a cat now, having been away from the cats for so long.
Yeah, you accept that this
I've
is
been
normal.
away from the cats now for about almost 24 hours. So to go back in and to see them, this was my favorite moment of the movie. To see them now is so shocking.
Is that Anne Hathaway?
I just watched it like an hour ago. So this to me,
you're still with
this
the
to me,
cats.
I'm still inside of it, and it feels to me like I'm gonna wake up from a nightmare every time. Like I will have nightmares tonight. Oh, it's still going.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can end it.
No, it's fine. I mean,
listen.
I mean it when I say
by the
that.
way, Paul,
we're all in agreement. That's the best part.
And
okay,
we
and
all
by the
are.
way, I said to you, Paul, last night. I'm sorry, I'm screaming.
No, I love that we're all pointing.
Paul,
We're all doing it. It's the best.
I said to Paul last night after that song, I said, "Can you rewind it? I'd like to hear it again." Now, I have had to sit through so many of the films that we've watched on this podcast,
and so have I.
So much terrible content.
So
you know we all have.
But Paul, I know. But the one time I say, you know what? I would actually like to hear that again. Roll the tapes, like please rewind. And Paul said no.
Whoa!
I could not believe.
So can I ask the question? Is that why you guys are broadcasting from different rooms?
Well,
we don't live together, Jason.
No, we don't. We have an old 1950s relationship. We have 2 beds on separate sides of the house. I will say this.
I do hear about couples, though, who live in separate houses and function together as married couples. That is, and I'm not saying I want that. I'm really not. But that is, I get it. How, I don't want to walk this quicksand. I see how it works.
By the way, if we did that, you would... Right now, you would not be on this StreamYard if that was the case.
Fair enough.
As I'm running down the stairs to pass off extra computers. I will say this. And then, as June said to me right before the show started, I have been having issues with this computer.
I have been.
This reminds me. I have been having
I've
some
been
issues
having a
with
lot
my
of
computer.
audio issues.
Here's what I want to say. I did rewind it, or June actually rewound it, and then I went to bed. I was very tired. I had to get up early this morning, and what did I hear? Click. The TV went back on. June found that scene again, played it again, three times in a row, and then when that was off, started singing it in the kitchen. At midnight, belting it out. I was in.
It's so easy to live with me. I mean, it was
amazing.
So here's the thing about the movie. You know, the voices never open up, and that was the one time, and I had been waiting for it, and I did love Jennifer Hudson's choices there, and when she went soft and spoke it out. And when she opened up there, the only time there was a note that was ever sustained in this musical question mark. I did love it. I think that song is stunning. I think that song is absolutely beautiful. My only critique is that the only critique I have of this film is that she did the kind of Anne Hathaway in Les Mis, I Dreamed a Dream, snot running down the nose.
Yeah, it was very Viola Davis and Fences, I felt like. Yeah,
is it snot or was it tears that had run into her? Was it tears that had run into her nose or was snot?
No, that was snot.
It's snot.
Okay.
It's definitely snot. And I feel just a few years earlier.
I just want to make sure you're saying it's snot, not it's not.
No,
right?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying it's not.
It's snot.
This is how our son learns how to blend. It's snot.
No, June, you would not blend 2 different words. They blend the one word. So they go
it's
snot.
No, it'd be a snot. Snot. There it is.
It's snot.
I want to put a cap on what Jellicle means. In the chat, people are kind of coming at us about what Jellicle.
Hey, audience, don't come at us. I don't need to hear from you. You're all the balcony as far as I'm concerned.
Kristen Marie says this. She says, the name Jellicle comes from an unpublished poem by T.S. Eliot entitled Policia, Dogs, and Jellicle Cats, where police dogs is corruption or poor little dogs, and Jellicle is dear little cats. So this is not only a musical, this is based on a T.S. Eliot poem.
No thanks.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I have an update.
It's not.
It can't be. It can't be.
It's not.
I'm saying it's snot. It's snot. The poem is snot. It's literally phlegm.
Okay.
It is an unpublished.
What I am saying is it's not based on that poem.
Can I just bring up one thing here too? Because there's so many things I want to talk about. I just felt first of all, I feel like there's no fault here. Everyone committed to their roles, and I do want to call that out. I think it's a flawed film, but I'm
going to start by blaming Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yes.
That's where, by the way, most of the blame.
Yes.
Should be placed.
But I want to blame everyone who read this script and thought, yeah, I want to do this. This is my next big project.
I mean,
you said to me, poor Jennifer Hudson. And I looked at you and I said, what do you mean poor Jennifer Hudson? She agreed to do it, got in that suit.
But I like her.
Well, she wasn't forced. That's what I'm saying. She must have read some, Idris Elba, one of the most in-demand actors, is I feel like I got to do McCavity. McCavity
Here's what I want to
me.
know. And this is for real, and this is a real question for both of you. I hate musicals. Hard stop, right?
Okay, wow.
I'm not interested. Not interested.
What have you seen?
everything, right? I mean, like
June talked to him about Les Mis.
Not interested in Les Mis. Not interested.
Have you seen
I
it?
don't like. Yes, I have.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. I saw it both on stage and I saw the movie.
You shouldn't say that, Jason.
I don't enjoy when people in the play I'm enjoying start singing. It seems jarring.
I did know this about you.
And it's unnecessary. You know what? It is. It's not. For me, I'm not interested in musicals. So this isn't for me.
And that's a limitation for you.
And you know what? I'm living I'm living in this world. I'm out in these streets hating musicals. Yeah. That's okay. But
have you seen Hamilton?
Yes, I've seen Hamilton. I thought Hamilton. What I enjoyed about Hamilton was it is sung from start to finish. There is no dialogue.
So is this. There's literally 2 lines of dialogue.
But there should have been dialogue. Hamilton does a good job telling a story inside of the songs and illustrating character and illustrating theme.
Right. There's no story here.
Hamilton is an incredibly.
I mean, how do you feel about Sondheim?
Sondheim, very interesting, and I enjoy stuff I've seen, but it doesn't connect with me the way that music does or the way that plays do. Somehow the fusion, I think maybe because I wasn't raised with musicals or I don't know what, but it just seems to me like I'm like, oh, here we go singing. I don't need this right now.
I like musicals because I think I had my first makeout during a musical.
Okay.
How do I exit this live stream?
What musical were you and your mom seeing?
We saw.
Paul, it is so inappropriate to make out during a musical. It's a live show. There are actors on stage. What are you talking about?
It was me and my girl. We went on a school trip, and
my girl, a VHS copy of the movie My Girl.
The direct-to-Broadway adaptation of My Girl 2. Oddly. I don't know why that got in there.
You made out during a live performance of a musical while actors who can barely afford to live in New York City were doing their work on stage in front of you?
But now I love musicals.
Disrespectful.
Do you think we can get, do we think this now grown woman will call in and discuss the makeout during... If she's listening right now, I need to hear what's happening to me and my girl, the me and my girl make out.
Jim Dale, by the way, it was starred Jim Dale, one of your favorites.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah, of course. There you go. I remember everything about it. I remember it all. But here's the thing. Besides me making out to musicals,
I'm so upset.
I will admit that I did take someone to Starlight Express in hopes of making out with them afterwards. But that was like much older. I was probably 18 years old or something.
Oh, wow. How was Starlight?
It was awful, Paul. It was a nightmare because it was both a musical and they were on, I'm sorry, rollerblades?
That's
hard pass.
What I love about musicals is that, yes, it does require us as an audience to kind of suspend a different type of disbelief and transcend. And I'm personally ready for that journey, but I've also done a lot of work, Jason. I've done a lot of work on myself.
Listen, you're brave. June, you're brave. There's things I'm not willing to go in. There's things I'm not willing to open myself to. And one of them is shockingly basic sung story points. That does not, that doesn't do anything for me. I just watched Lin-Manuel Miranda explain on Rishikesh Hirway's show, Song Exploder on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
All about the creation of one of the songs in Hamilton, and it's electric to watch. If you let Rishikesh Hirway interview Andrew Lloyd Webber about any of these songs, you'd be like, I don't know. I just wrote a bunch of words, and then we repeated them over and over and over
Ineffable.
and over.
Jellicle.
Jellicle. Jellicle, ineffable, Jellicle. Like, that's it.
Well, let's even go past the songs and past the music and just say, can we agree on what the world is, right? Because if there are humans, we are in the middle of a London town where there are giant billboards for Macavity.
I think.
It's not. I don't think London.
I call it London Town. I call it London Town. I call it London Town.
I don't think it's a subset of Subtown of London. I think it's just
UK
London.
Audience that's watching right now. It's London Town, right? So all in London Town. But there is a marquee of Macavity, and I was like, is he running for mayor? But is he just running to be a Jellicle? Take a look at this marquee. And by the way, how do the cats afford this?
Here's my next question. Why is he magic? Why is there magic? What are the rules?
Well, that's
Why
David.
is he-
That's the Miscavige cat, or the
Right.
David Miscavige cat.
Where is Shelley Miscavige?
Where is Shelley?
Where is
Oh
she?
wait, pull up that one.
Any
Yeah.
updates, by the way? Any updates on her?
Where is Shelley McCavity?
She's here watching the show. She's a big fan, and
Big
she
fan.
was like, "Get me,
I don't
get
even
me
want
in."
to joke about it because she is in the hole.
Okay.
All right. Well, look. So McCavity, there's a wanted sign that says "wanted for everything." So this is a world where McCavity, there's no humans in this world, because if a human saw that, they would be like, "Wait, we want a cat, and why does the cat look like a?" Like, I don't understand the world. I don't
There
understand
are
why
definitely humans, because
Yes.
the first character we see in the movie is a human being who
Yes.
steps out of a car and throws the Victoria cat who's in a pillowcase into the trash, right? And so that person, human being, is throwing away the cat. So we can presume that there are humans, right?
Right.
You know, like that we know. So we don't really see them again, so that's fine. But we understand that these cats all live inside of a human world because everything is put to scale. Now, my question though is, why is there magic? Why? It's okay. Okay, you want to
Right.
tell me this is what happens when cats are alone? Like, this is like Toy Story is the story of toys when the humans
Yes,
aren't
love
around.
that.
Okay, this is the story of cats when humans aren't around. Great. Why is there magic? Why can he disappear? Why can he disappear people to a boat?
Well,
Why?
I do think. Well, I mean, I do think cats have been imbued with and whether they are magical or are not magical. That's not for me to decide.
It's not for
but
me.
it's just not. But
I mean, without a doubt, that's the
It's not.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
That is the T-shirt. It's already been decided.
not.
We will
But-
have this T-shirt up by the end of this show.
I do feel like there's a long history. I remember distinctly a story my mom and dad told me about when my oldest sister was born. They lived in Manhattan in an apartment on the Upper West Side, and they had a window in their apartment. It's just a one bedroom to the courtyard. And my oldest sister Deanna was very young. She must have been about 2 or 3 months old, and there was a cat that would come to the window. And my mom was terrified of the cat, like essentially stealing the baby's soul.
Yeah, that's like
So-
that's a thing, right?
But that's what I'm saying. There is a lot of lore and mystical attributes
Now,
when it comes to cats. Whether
I
that's
don't,
true or not,
I don't
it's
mind
not.
that. I don't mind that. And in fact, there is some attention paid to that by the fact that like the theater is the Egyptian and there is the cat god perched above that theater. And I think they're trying to make a couple of those things, but it's not backed up by the movie. The movie does nothing to establish the rules of the magic that Idris Elba's character is participating in. And everybody seems shocked that he's able to do it. You know, that plus the fact that apparently Dame Judi Dench, like a literal national treasure, can essentially grant a cat to be reincarnated into a different life. Like that bit of magic too, I also couldn't quite wrap my head around. Like the goal of this appears to be to sing so good you get to ride the chandelier into the sky.
Here's my 2 points on this movie. One, I think that Andrew Lloyd
movie, man.
I think that Andrew Lloyd Webber is he's seeing into the future. This is a post-COVID world where cats have taken over. That's A. Or B, this movie should have been titled Birds. Because I feel like this is a much more of a bird movie, because I don't see cats flocking together like this. At one point, the cats
turn on each other,
and they all like are on a statue. At one point, there's a picture of like most of the cats we have that like where the pictures are like the cats are hanging off a statue. Like cats don't like climb up architecture like that.
Well, they
like,
do when they've been choreographed to. You have to remember that these cats have been choreographed,
right? Okay,
at Cat University to within an inch of their life in order to, upon seeing fountains, statues, garbage cans, trash barrels, dumpsters, to choreograph themselves in a non-dynamic way to interact with these items. I could talk for, I'm going to say 1 hour with uninterrupted simply about the James Corden musical number.
Okay, I have an issue. I like James Corden a lot. I feel like they were like, this movie is not really working. Let's cut to him to kind of undercut the movie, because he really just calls out like, this ain't working, and I know it.
He is working, and I also like James Corden. He is working so hard.
Him and Rebel Wilson are like, let's do it.
They're working so hard, and the movie is doing them no favors. The movie is actively mocking them as it goes. The James Corden stuff, he arrives dressed like Mr. Monopoly. No, that's not James Corden. That's Mr. Monopoly. It's fine, but again, more magic. Why is he able to conjure?
Okay, I know, but that's one song that I did enjoy.
His song?
Yes.
Okay, sure. I didn't, but I understand. Like, because at least I understood the goal of the song,
right?
Which was to give him the confidence to bring back old Deuteronomy. Right? Great. Fine.
By the way, why is her name Deuteronomy and everybody else is like bingle bangles, jingle bangles? And that one is that one is a Bible. That is a Bible name. And
Rumple Teaser, Mungo Jerry. Like, what the fuck? What is okay? So James Corden shows up dressed like he's in a different movie. All the cats are nude, and he's wearing all the clothes. Right?
Well, some of the cats have no clothes on, but just sneakers.
Some of the cats have no clothes on but a fur coat. Is that the pelt of a dead cat?
Well, I mean,
think about that. But think about how many characters are wearing fur in the movie.
By the way, this brings me to my Gremlins 2 dilemma.
Are these trophies?
This is my Gremlins 2 dilemma. Who is making the cat clothes? Because it doesn't feel like it's oversized. It fits the cats. So there is a clothing maker for cats.
There is a cat tailor. There's got to be, we never
Swift?
Go there, but there's got to be some sort of cat equivalent of, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is what's weird. And I know I'm circling the screen and no one can see this, but there are certain cats here that look like they do have like the outline of breasts or pets or whatever.
For sure.
But then there are certain cats who don't. And
there's also in this frame, cats who are 100% hind leg walkers, and also cats that are 100% all fours. Which seems to me to be indiscriminate. Basically, if you want to be on all fours, great. If you want to be up on your hind legs, that's okay too.
Listen, I don't ever want to see a cat just up on its hind legs,
walking around. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Here I am.
Yeah.
If I had a cat and I was like, here's my cat.
No, thank you.
I'd be like, get this demon out of my house.
Can we talk about the cat orgy? I won't even play the sound that loud. I just want to look at it with you guys. This is the cat orgy right here. This is in the most sexual scene where all the cats are. They're all high on Taylor Swift's catnip, I think, at this point, right?
No, I don't think this is that.
Oh, okay, but when
when they are summoning the, I think, next Jellicle cat.
This is when they've just entered the theater and they've all fallen into this syncopated thing. She's just learning it. Victoria.
And so, but this is like the most sexual.
What is this?
This is the most sexual.
Look how basic this is. This is Cheer was better than this.
See, and they really seem like they're getting off on this moment. I feel like this is, I mean, are cats even sexual? I don't know.
Well, what are you talking? Wait. I have that's a wild question. Are cats even sexual? Yes.
The
answer is just.
No, that's not like a known thing.
They are.
Well, look, I think dogs.
I think what you're saying though is like, you see dogs humping, like whatever.
Yes.
You see, rabbits are known as sexual creatures.
Cats are known as being distant.
I've never seen cats have sex with each other, but
cats can be. But can't cats be like in heat? Isn't that the thing about cats?
I know dogs can. I don't know that about. I don't know that about cats.
I'm pretty sure cats get horny.
No, because the stork brings the kittens, right? That's the whole idea. The stork brings the kittens.
Oh, Paul.
Okay.
Right.
Now
The magical.
We're gonna have to really unpack this.
There's like a little magical flying.
It's really weird because listen. Again, I know I want to mind my P's and Q's, but I was surprised. I think of cats as female for whatever reason.
Okay.
Interesting.
And I don't know if anyone else.
And you think of dogs as male?
Yeah.
I think I you know what? I think I genderize them as well. That really, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
When it comes to animals, I don't see gender. They're all just animals.
Really?
That's wonderful. I don't know why I do that.
I don't think I just know it. It more is dismissive of animals than anything else.
I don't see them as having souls.
I don't.
I don't.
I was surprised to see male cats. Like I actually, as I was watching this, had the thought, like, are there male cats? Of course there are.
Right.
But I so think of cats as, demure and like editorial in their choices and
editorial.
They
I will say
so much
cats
more
have,
like feminine to me.
Yeah, cats have given me some of the best notes on scripts, I will say. In an editorial sense, they're very good.
Well, I mean, one of the cats
say
cut
yes,
jaws.
They say no. They decipher.
Really smart cats. I mean, look, there's so much going on here. I think it's smart if we maybe go to the audience a little bit to kind of look at what they're saying, because I think we'll cover some of the things that we have.
Okay.
People have typed in their questions.
The thing I wanted to say, just very briefly, when we showed the picture of James Corden, is when we see James Corden first, here's what happened. Can you pull up the James Corden image again, if possible?
Yeah,
when we see James Corden first, he's wearing this top hat, a waistcoat. He's wearing all of this stuff, right? Then he leads them through a door. And then they all help him take his clothes off, which forces me, the viewer, to now think I'm looking at a naked James Corden.
I felt that too.
You've put that, this movie put that into my mind, and I don't
And not only
that.
that, but like everybody else is naked too.
Yes.
Like now I'm uncomfortable with what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, when the cat shows up in clothes, it just forces me to think everybody here is naked.
Here's a little moment.
This is also weird.
Paul,
when she
I don't
unzips
like this one bit.
I don't
like
look. Okay, now I want to pay close attention to the cake. That's scale. Like that's the tea cozy and the cake.
The scale is wrong though.
Well, whoever did scale did not understand it.
They didn't, because if that's a slice of cake, Jason, that cake would be. That slice of cake would be this big.
I believe it is.
Which would mean a cat would be enormous next to it.
But it's the size of her legs. Like it's the height of her, almost to her waist.
I feel like they interviewed somebody.
It's not. That's my problem. It's just to her calf.
Yes, it's too big. And I believe what they did. I believe what they did is I think they hired. I feel like they hired like someone who got fired from Lord of the Rings. Like, oh wow, you know how to do
scale key.
Yeah, you know how to do scaled, right? And like, yeah, and got fired like the first week into Lord of the Rings.
I need this movie in the bottom right-hand corner to always have a key, so I understand in this scene the cat is this big compared to a piece of cake. In this scene, compared to a piece of cake, a cat is this big.
We can break it down. I mean, we should be breaking it down.
Somebody should break it down, because it is it's wildly bizarre to watch these cats in some scenes feel like they are the size of human beings. They hold the space of human beings, and they seem to engage with each other the way human beings do, and then have them dance around in sets that make them appear to be teeny tiny house cats.
Well, now I'm actually wondering, like, what did you say? That's a tea cozy? What is that?
That's what I assumed. It's with a cake. It's a knit thing. I assumed it was a tea cozy, but I don't know, frankly.
Does a tea cozy go around a teapot, or does a tea cozy go? Okay, can you go back to that picture for a second, Paul?
This picture is the Rosetta Stone for this movie.
All right, here we go.
Please, can we go back to the picture, please?
Okay, so wait a second. That's a teapot?
I don't know that, because I think the spout is right there in the front, if you can see right here. Oh. And it's a knit tea cozy.
Oh my God, this is so wrong.
Wow.
Right?
So
Yeah.
I'm pointing, you can't see what I'm pointing at, but I believe this is like, because I think she's standing in front of a teacup and saucer.
This is actually more upsetting the more I'm staring at it, because first of all, she just, by the way, I think the reason why we're not noticing it is because she just ripped off her cat skin to reveal her identical cat skin with like a more flashy outfit on. And I gotta say, I'm looking at the size of the light switch behind her too, and I feel like that's wrong too.
Okay, so here's
if she was sitting here on this live stream, if she was sitting here, that a teapot in a cozy would come up to her calves.
And we haven't even spoken to the true insanity, which is, if you look at her feet, she has just previously she was not wearing any of this. She was just covered in fur, which she unzips to reveal this. But what we see on the ground is her initial fur is lined with the purple material that her outfit is made out of.
So she's wearing this around the house.
So she's wearing a fake fur outfit that has a material lining so that she can take it off to reveal this outfit on top of her real fur, right?
Wait a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
What are those things? Are those hands that came out of, what are those things? I know you can't see what I'm pointing to.
I believe those to be her hands. Yes, those are the hands. Those are the hands of the fur suit that she took off.
Yes. No, she has So, well, first of all, I want this sweatsuit. And by the way, June, I feel like if this was a sweatsuit made by Claire Vivier, you would wear this like cat sweatsuit.
If there's a way that we can make these and sell them on TeePublic,
guys,
let's please do it.
How did this get made? All needs to dress up as cats. By the way, here I want to do another perspective thing. Here's the cats on the statue, because this is another way of mind warping how big the statue is. Can we pull up that picture real quick of the cats?
Okay.
All right.
This is not helpful.
All right, so this is another version. So this is a giant in London town. This is a giant.
It's just London.
In London town, good old London town. There is Prime Minister Alan Partridge. There is a there. All right, so I don't understand. But the way they are in front of this statue, the statue is like, I don't even know how to describe.
Which is, by the way, a cat. They're in front of a cat-based statue.
Yeah. Molly, can you find out how big this cat is in real life? Molly, our super
Here's the thing.
producer
Stay on this picture for a second, though, because I am, and listen, all bodies are beautiful. But it must have been, in some ways, I think if I had been in this movie, I wasn't asked, obviously. I wasn't.
Oh, they
even
begged me. They begged me.
Nobody asked me to submit a tape or
I was supposed to be the guy who threw the cat. But I was like, I want to put the real human being in a bag and throw that. And they're like, no, we're going to have a different perspective. I said, no, put a human being in the bag and then I'll toss it. And then there was a disagreement.
But here's the thing. It must have been freeing in a way to work on this movie, because it's like, if I were there, I'd just be eating up a storm, because even when you're looking your best, like even when you're keeping it right and tight, your body will look like shit. Nobody... These costumes are so unforgiving.
It is awful to look at, which is why I think some of them were like, you got to give me a coat. You got to give me a coat.
I would demand it.
I am talking now. We got some real stats on this cat. This statue in London is 20 feet long and 22 feet high. So now one of these characters is standing and is almost halfway to its beard. So that cat is at least 10 feet tall.
No, you are wrong, because look at where the camera is.
Okay.
The camera is low and the person is close. The perspective is wrong, right?
I'm looking at the person behind that person.
Even if you look up top at the cats that are sitting on top of the lion's head, they're so small up there. They're not that small. But no, look, if you take your fingers to them and you measure, like this right here, that's one cat. That's the size of one cat, not even standing up. So this is the size of one cat standing up.
All right, so this is the Lance.
22 feet high, June, and we're on the ground.
This is the Landseer
We're on
lion.
the ground, looking up 22 feet.
This is the Landseer lion in Trafalgar Square. So this is a 22 feet high statue. We're trying to figure it out because we have to remember.
So the camera is the ground. Mm-hmm. We're looking up 22 feet, which is basically 2 stories. So So those little cats up there, compared to trained tap dancing cat, why pants and no shirt? Everybody else has agreed we're wearing tops.
Why suspenders?
We're wearing tops and no pants.
Here's the thing. According to this scale that I'm looking at right now, and I am taking into consideration that the camera's on an angle and I'm looking up, but according to this scale, from what I'm seeing and what I can lay out and the legend I can make in my mind, these cats are minimum 5 feet tall.
No.
June, I agree with you. I'm on June's side.
These cats.
What do people saying in the chat?
This movie would have you believe that these cats are the size of ordinary house cats, period. That's what this movie is positing.
I agree that it's positing that, but based on the actual scale of this
let me be clear. The movie is unsuccessful on every level, including scale, but that's what they're trying to do. But I agree. It is unsuccessful. Yes. I'm not ever going to argue that this movie is successful on any level. Hard stop. This is an unmitigated failure from start to finish, and it is wild to watch.
We are getting some responses in from the audience here, and we're going to start going to their questions as well. But I want to see what they think about the size.
Holy
like
cow.
how tall do you think a cat in this movie is? How tall do you think a cat?
I think
in this
at
movie
least 5 feet. Let me just say,
Yes.
I think one of the thrilling things about the live show, from what I remember of those,
the Regis commercials.
Yeah, and by the way,
oh, look at this. Put that a little bit closer, June. This
What
is a
is
picture
that?
of June with Regis.
Whoa! How is that available?
so it's really weird that this is out. I just found it in this notebook that I was holding with my notes.
Very weird.
It is. It's a long story about why I tried to dig this up, and it was in this notebook. But Regis had a book out. This is what I mean. If you lived on Long Island, Paul and I both grew up on Long Island. You loved Regis.
I worked out with Regis's trainer.
Him.
I worked out with Regis.
He was the best. This man was the best.
The best.
And when I was in 8th grade, he was at the mall, and I went to see him and get an autograph. I don't know why I had both hands on his shoulders.
Is he wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
Can I ask you, June, was he trying to get away?
He does not.
Was he trying to get away?
June, there is a...
You're gonna sit right here. You're gonna stay right here.
There's literally a
Field Mall, and I went to go see him, and he was lovely.
There is literally a security guard behind June right there. All right, so the chat is chiming in here. They're saying the cats on the lion's head are as large as his head. My name is Jamie is saying the cat on the head should be smaller than the lion's head. Snug says I have climbed those lions, and the perspective is totally bleep 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 here. This is a 5 foot tall cat. That's WTF says I agree with June. Geostorm. Thurman says, as a veterinarian, these cats are not to scale. That's a vet.
Of course they're not.
Wow. Okay.
Now, listen, here's what I was going to say, though. From the commercials Paul and I saw growing up, part of the thrill of being in that audience of cats was that, from what I remember, Paul, in the commercials on Regis, the cats came into the audience.
Yeah, for sure. It was very much
cats came up to you and went down the aisle and like came at you, and that was really snuggled up on you.
I would love that. I would love to pet a cat, like a human cat.
Me too. And I
Sweaty
think
cat.
that's what was exciting.
If a cat touched me, I think I'd throw myself off the balcony. I would be like, "That's it.
I want to make.
It's over.
I want to start a Kickstarter to bring you to a Cats Live. Once the theater comes back, the first thing that you're going to do is see Cats Live.
Unfortunately, Cats has been closed for a few years now.
No, but I'm sure it's traveling around the country.
The idea that Cats was for many years one of the longest, was in fact the longest running Broadway show in history, is to me mind scrambling, because my assumption is this is a faithful adaptation of the songs contained within the play.
Yes,
so
with one additional one.
Okay.
There is an original song not written by Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Yes, he wrote a new song for the actual movie. I will tell you, it's a little bit in my research here. This is not my cheating, but this is...
it really was... When I realized that each song was just another cat's introduction, and then those cats would then basically leave, that each thing was a lateral move, not forwarding the plot at all. And the Victoria is Cynthia Erivo, right?
Yes.
That for her, she is just like everywhere she looks, someone's pulling her in a different direction. I couldn't tell, what did she want? Like, what did anybody want? Other than to win the ball and become something else.
Well, here's what I think. I think that why I'm calling her Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Hudson, I think is a sex worker cat. Right. And I feel like McCavity is kind of abusing her. And I that's how I kind of viewed her. And so it's sort of like Judi Dench saw her and it's like, you deserve to have a new, fresh start because you have been forced into this sex work against your will. And now I'm going to give you a fresh life. You can live in a house like Rebel Wilson lives in, and you can teach the mice to have a band. Like, I felt like that's what I was getting.
So where does she go at the end?
She goes in that balloon to a new world. Or maybe to heaven.
Does she die?
Cats too?
Is this about 9 lives? Is this about cats having 9 lives?
Oh, people say she dies.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought too. That she dies. Like she.
So it's like that's the great relief. The great relief is they have 9 lives. Like oh wow, they go to cat heaven.
Yeah, to come back eventually, I think.
I'm sorry. So that they all compete in a contest once a year and the best one gets to die?
Listen,
I mean, I get it. If I was living in this cat world, I'd be like, get me out of here. I'm ready to go. What do I got to do?
Put me in that chandelier and send me up.
Let's get to the questions here from the crowd because we have a lot of great questions lined up here. We're going to pop them on the screen. Steve Sheppy asks, what kind of fur are the cat's fur coats made out of? This is interesting because the fur here.
I already said it. I think that's got to be dead cats.
So here's my question. What part of their costumes do you think is CGI? Obviously, they're taking out genitalia, but sometimes I thought they weren't because there are times where the male cats are just sort of in shadows down there.
Well, I'm guessing just like in my kind of, if I'm thinking practically in terms of making this movie, my guess is everybody is wearing like a green screen jumpsuit.
No, I think they're wearing
is CG.
I think they're wearing actually a little bit of cat fur. Here, by the way, look at this. I mean, because I think head wise, I think their makeup is done, but I think everything below the neck is CG. I was on the set. I was on the set of 100%. A very big Marvel film, and I met Robert Downey Jr. for the second time in my life. And his Iron Man.
Can you produce a picture?
No. Do you want to tell the story about the first time?
No, I don't. No, because I feel like no. But when I saw what his Iron Man costume was, I was shocked. The man is in essentially like a beautifully comfortable black outfit with like one little like giant necklace that looks like the Iron Man shield in front. Like there's no costume on him. So maybe you're right, Jason. Maybe there is.
I think because my thinking is, and this is why I think that it would have been different. Like I think they purposefully designed these cats to not have genitalia, and the butthole cut is a whole thing, and we can talk about that. But I think in all likelihood, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, and maybe the boards are going bananas right now, but I suspect they did makeup on their faces, and otherwise everything else is green screen. Everything else is...
Okay, if that's the case, then this photo, then if I were this cat, the white cat, Victoria, I would find the CGI person and shoot them. Because... they did her so dirty. They made everybody's body look like human bodies.
I agree.
In unflattering,
sexless,
suits.
Sexless human bodies.
Just so you understand, apparently this article in the Daily Beast that came out in 2020, it took 6 months to produce the 2-minute trailer, and then they were only given 4 months to make the entire film. Wow. So the special effects took 6 months for the trailer and only 4 to do the 2 minutes versus like almost 2 hours. Yeah. They were spending 90
before that too.
90-hour work weeks, sleeping under their desks to get the film done. So much so, and I think we've heard this.
They rushed it to Christmas.
They rushed it to Christmas, and like they left things in. Like Judi Dench has a wedding ring in at one scene, and then they had to like switch it out. Like she doesn't have a paw; she has a regular hand.
Ian McKellen is wearing Gandalf's hat in one scene.
They basically they were trying to get it out so quickly. And then they sent like other, they sent updated cuts to movie theaters being like, replace it with this one. It's crazy. Oh,
I'm remembering this.
Because to me, all the tails are digital. I don't think they're wearing much of anything, frankly. I mean, maybe in moments they are, but I really think, I suspect everything is fucking nonsense.
I mean, listen, it's interesting to see like what happens to a face, like a human face when you lose ears. I didn't know they were as. Yeah.
I thought the tails were disgusting. The tails felt like dicks to me, and it made me gross every single time.
Not just ears, but also eyebrows. To take eyebrows away from eyes makes them very difficult to read meaning into expressions. And what I would say is throughout this movie, with the exception again of Jennifer Hudson, there is no emotionality in any of the cats because they've taken away all of our expressive elements, our foreheads, our eyebrows, all of the things surrounding our eyes to clue us into what people are thinking or feeling.
By the way,
so what we're left with is these smoothed out, weird cat faces and lyrics that are emotionally zero. They're nothing.
Well, let's take a look at what some pre-CGI cats look like. Here we go. This is pre-CGI. Oh, wow, you're right. So they were wearing no fur at all. They're just in green screen suits. Ian McKellen is wearing...
What did I tell you? Yes.
Wow. Ian McKellen's wearing his jacket, of course, but yeah, they have nothing. Wow. I'm kind of impressed. Yeah, they're in big fat suits and all that sort of stuff, but no.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Look, Andrew Lloyd Webber with his Starbucks. Come on. Look at that. That's what they had to wear. That's if someone said, hey, come be in my movie, this is what you have to wear. Immediate hard pass. Just kidding. Please put me in a movie with one of those. But I mean,
look at this.
What?
Oh, wow.
I mean, you know what? And I'm going to say this is why they all did this really well, because they didn't know what it was going to look like. And they felt like, oh, it's going to look great. And I think this is how you get people done dirty, because you go like, oh, we'll look great afterwards. And it doesn't. And it looks almost more silly. Oh, look at this.
You know that if you were on this set, you would be like, oh, no. What is going to happen?
I don't know. Maybe not. I mean... It's
okay. Can I pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
She's standing in front of bar stools. That's the scale.
Oh, you're right, because her head is touching the top of the bar stool. But even at that point,
that's still
if a cat's head was touching the top of a bar stool, that's like
on its hind legs. On its hind legs.
If a cat was on its hind legs standing up,
if a cat was to stand all the way up, I think a cat would be.
You're probably right.
The top of
we were wrong.
Listen,
you were.
I don't think it's right. I'm not saying it's exact, but that's what they're trying to tell us. You know, is that's a cat on its hind feet, and that's a bar stool. I mean, what's happening when we leave this tonight? When we click leave meeting tonight, I'm gonna be alone in my house.
I'm sorry, Jason.
As I have been for 7 months, with only the nightmarish visuals that I have been forced to consume for you 10,000 assholes out there. Fuck you.
Let's get some more questions in here. Let's see what else we got here. This is a good one coming up. Mittens Moyer asks, boobs, why? Both my cats are female and they don't have boobs. Great question. You're right. We did talk about this a little bit, but they kept the boobs and they took out the genitalia. Why did they give them boobs?
What's weird is, wouldn't they have 6 boobs? Wouldn't they have
teats?
A cat has like a bunch of nipples, right?
Yeah.
So why don't the cats?
Don't know.
Why doesn't Judi Dench have like 6 nipples going on? Why doesn't anybody have nipples? Where are the nipples? Where are the nipples? Never mind the butthole cut. Where's the nipple cut?
But the problem with the nipples is because the cats are upright so much of the time, we would be staring at 6 nipples, at multiple nipples.
You'd be staring at nipples constantly.
And they couldn't do that.
Here's the thing.
I blame them for a lot. I don't blame them for that.
Well,
it was, I mean, I know we touched on this at the beginning, but it was surprisingly gross. Like seeing those tails move independently of the cats, you know, seeing that the cats move this way and then the tails move that way.
I don't like it.
All right, next question.
I will say, I didn't like any of the feline movement. I didn't like it. Listen, here's an example, right? I know
Are you a cat person, Jason?
I'm not. I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. I don't. If somebody has a cat, I don't mind it. You know what I mean? But I'm not a cat person. I'm not an animal person, if I'm being honest.
Wait, I thought you liked dogs.
I do. I love
you're a dog person.
Yeah, look at this.
Okay, so you're a dog person.
Great. Yeah, look at this. This is going to be a great.
Here's my dead dog. Here's my dead dog, Turkey the dog.
Oh, yeah, Turkey.
So cute.
What a beautiful baby.
But I will say that I can wrap my head around and fully enjoy. I know I said I don't like musicals. I can fully enjoy Singing in the Rain, right? What an incredible,
beautiful
what
movie.
a beautiful, incredible movie. What, like, something where the song and dance really enhances the movie and enhances the story and helps illustrate character, all this stuff. Great. Love it. Okay. These cats dancing around is not exceptional dancing. It's not interesting movement. The feline movements are jarring and uncomfortable to watch human beings writhe around on the ground. It looks, June, like what you're doing, which is it looks like an acting exercise.
It is an acting
exercise.
Like this is an actor's exercise. This is clown class. Next question. Katie asks for Jason, in your expert opinion, which cat was the sexiest? This is a good question here.
Oh, without a doubt, Dame Judi Dench, period.
Okay. Yeah, I actually
thought Mr. Mistopheles, what's his name again?
Mistopheles, yeah.
Yeah,
Mr.
I thought he
Miscavige?
was a pretty sexy cat.
Really? I thought he was the one that's the least sexy because he's wearing all that magician outfits. All right, interesting.
I thought, like, here's the reality. I didn't think any of them were really that sexy. I think the movie, I think many of the actors in this movie are sexy people. I think Jason Derulo is sexy. I think Cynthia Erivo is sexy. I think Taylor Swift is. I think these are sexy people, but this movie doesn't help them at all. I think Jennifer Hudson.
What?
I mean, I don't think these are unsexy people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying the movie.
Listen, I think the male cats are sexier than the female cats.
I agree. Their bodies work better for it. Yes.
Is that their bodies, their shapes work better as cats, and
the sexiest
they just translate
number
better into cats.
I don't disagree. But so none of them, the answer is none of them really landed as sexy.
I want to end our audience question part with an observation that Dirty Flamingo made. Can we pull up this thing? Not a question, but an observation. The suits are green and the screens behind them are green. That would be impossible to key. The CGI team must have remade their whole bodies from scratch is what they wrote. But yeah, if you look at that point is so smart. They're in green screen on green screen.
Yep.
Oh boy, this movie was doomed to begin with.
This movie is.
I mean, it looks like they're having a hell of a time.
I really want there to be a documentary about what a nightmare it was to make this movie.
Yes.
Because it must have been.
But by the way, I think we've been unfairly kind of like ragging on this movie. And I don't know if we actually know like what the true intent will ever be, but it is now time for a second opinion. And we have now gone to you, our amazing audience, to sing some second opinion songs. So without any further ado, enjoy you introducing this segment.
I don't trust Tom Hooper, Taylor Swift, oh, can't you see? You're the actress starring in my bad dream. Second opinion, some of them are out of hand. Pure genius or a roller coaster made of rubber bands. Oh, this movie isn't good. Memory, want to erase all my memories of this terrible movie. It was truly so wrong. But if you click on over to Amazon, you'll find a second opinion.
All right, those are some amazing second opinion songs. And by the way, brief. We never get that when we do the show live. These are 5-star reviews, cold from Amazon.com.
Oh, that was funny.
There are 6,984 reviews of this film, and this has about a 3.3 out of 5 stars. 40% of them are 5-star reviews. Wow. But while some of them are cheeky, they still express some very genuine love for the movie. And by the way, this is from Nate Kiley, one of our great researchers, friend of the show, worker of the show. We love Nate. He says, look, Paul, there are some furries reviewing this movie. Here we go.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right. This is from Daniel B. Lyle. Despite its PG rating, there's a lot of T and E in this movie. Tails and ears. An additional major character throughout the magical journey is the T and E. The tails move along like the amazing dancing and cat-like, while marvelous ears twitch and shift, and they're totally lifelike. I liked it. I'm watching it many times over. 5 stars. So this review was titled "Delightfully Magical T and E." This one from Michael. This one is, the journey is the reward. At its core, it's a wistful story of the naivete of youth, the melancholy of aging, and the self-imposed damnation of regret, the blessing of friendship, and the nobility of sacrifice. Because in the end, all we're left with is our memories. 5 stars. The movie is the show. Wow, that's pretty deep. Yeah, pretty deep. And then this is a very long review, which I'm going to kind of compact down, from Sinsbin Poe. Sinsbin Poe writes this. Tom Hooper, and the entire cast and crew of Cats should be very, very proud of what they have achieved. I wish Growl Tiger's last stand, including the ballad of Billy McCaw, would have been more thoroughly included, albeit in a reworked manner to remove its offensive elements. But as it is,
Wait a minute,
I don't know what the offensive elements
I don't know what
of
that's in regards
Growl
to,
Tiger's
okay.
last stand or the ballad of Billy McCaw is. I am thrilled with my purchase. An ardent fan of this film. I'll be watching it over and over again. One element about Cats I feel is important for viewers to know, yet is not really stressed enough in my honest opinion. Do you have young grandchildren that you don't get to visit quite enough? Do you have nieces and nephews that are growing up quicker than expected and you find yourself wondering, will they think kindly of you in the future? Since you don't have the time to spend with them, well, how could you handle this? Well, T.S. Eliot created the characters, situations, and poems for his cats for this very reason. He was a grandfather who wasn't able to see his grandchildren often enough to suit himself, and he created this elaborate world as a bonding mechanism, which they could all enjoy each other's company from afar. Imagine the joy they must have felt, the anticipation for each
Are they cats in this scenario?
Imagine the horror. Imagine the horror they felt when their grandfather sent them these stories. Imagine what nightmares they must have produced.
It goes, the anticipation for each subsequent letter as the story unfurled itself and each character was born. I, for one, think it's a beautiful gesture. T.S. Eliot, despite his faults, must have been an amazing space father. That is a 5-star review right there. Wow.
If I had grandkids, without a doubt, I would rather read to them from Stephen King's It than show them this movie. like I am.
Yeah, this
I am
is
not,
haunting.
This would fuck me up if I saw this at a young age.
Oh God, yes.
This would really.
Oh yeah, this is. I mean, I want to read the letters now. I guess I'm gonna have to get that book and read it to our children, June. So don't say I can't. Mrs. G writes this, and I think this is kind of a slam.
Mrs. G from
Facts of Life.
From the Facts of Life, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both.
There you have
Jason, you can sing. You can sing.
That's talk singing. That's not real singing.
This is a
Mrs. G.
This is the title of this is called Enjoyable Entertainment, which is kind of the most base thing you could say about entertainment. It says Idris Elba as McCavity could have stolen the show, but he didn't. He held back and fit in perfectly well with the rest of the cast. No one was overshadowed anyone else, and the storyline altered a little to make the movie easier to understand. 5 stars. Easier to understand? And also, like you're saying, like I love the idea that
strong disagree.
and finally, I'll just end on this last one from Casey, which is I'm not going to read the whole review. Casey Wilson, I wish.
Our friend Casey Wilson?
It just says this. One must approach this movie.
She's writing 5-star reviews under her own name.
She's written a lot of them. I mean, look, it says one must approach this movie with an open mind. Think of it as looking at
Casey.
Think of it as looking at a Jackson Pollock. It's messy, it's horrible, it's intense, but boldly confident. And then it describes.
You know what? This does sound like Casey, and I actually agree with her. This movie takes a swing, and maybe it's unfinished. Like maybe they needed more time, but it does take a swing, and that's the thing that I did appreciate about it.
I agree.
It took a bold swing.
I'm all in for bold swings. That's why I enjoyed this movie. And Casey just said this one thing that I've never heard. I'm going to embrace this as something I'm going to say a lot. It was like being on a roller coaster made of rubber bands. And that to me really feels like 5 stars. That feels to me like the perfect description of this movie. A roller coaster of rubber bands. Holy cow. Well, we've dissected a lot of this film. And I think before we kind of wrap up with our final thoughts, there might be one person out there who has a couple of thoughts. And I would love to throw this over to this one person who wants to kind of engage us with this. So take a look.
Hi, Jason, Paul, and June. I miss you all very much. But this is as close as I'm getting you, it looks like. I'm going to talk about Cats for a moment with you. Film I watched, tweeted about as I was watching it. And was quite frankly just shocked by. It was a weird film, and there was a lot to process. I think the thing that was maybe the most consistently weird thing is the scale of the movie. The scale is weird. And I did research online, and it told me that the sets were built to a 2.5 scale, which means that the cats would weigh around. That means a cat's like 60 pounds. And
all right,
like 2 feet tall. Around. I dropped out of high school, not good at math, but it's bigger than a fucking cat. And I don't know what a Jellicle is. That was insane. Having not seen the Broadway musical, it was objectively crazy. And also, like, I've always thought like Broadway musicals are not funny, but like when you go see them at Broadway, everyone's laughing. And I'm always thinking, like, if this was a movie, no one would be laughing at this. And this is a very good example of why that is a correct thought for me to have. The visual effects are weird. And the other thing I learned after tweeting it is that all these cats had buttholes. And it was very, very close to the release of the film that they got rid of the buttholes. So somewhere there is an entire cut of the film with where all these cats have buttholes, big cat buttholes. And if you watch the movie through that lens, it's again even fucking crazier. The pants logic is wildly inconsistent. The clothes logic is inconsistent. Judi Dench is wearing a fur coat at one point, which is crazy. Because that'd be like wearing a human flesh coat in our world.
Yes, agree.
Yeah, they all went to cat school. That's the other thing that's fucking nuts. They went to cat school for like weeks to act like fucking cats. I would have quit this film if the director asked me to go to cat school. Anyway, I miss you all. You're wonderful.
Oh my God.
I've been enjoying the show. Thank you for getting me through these dark times.
I love it. We had to get Seth in here. We had to get Seth in here to chat about it.
And really, it's really bringing up a lot of the salient points that we have highlighted.
I mean, everyone,
the fur coats, the scale, all of it. You know, like none of it makes sense. The rules are
Wait,
arbitrary.
am I to understand from Seth's video?
By the way, this is what the chat is saying right now.
So great to see Seth's face. But am I to understand? Okay, team scale. So did he say when it's 2.5 to scale? So the cats are 60 pounds each.
Yeah, so
I know, like our dog Meatball. Who
I was going to say that's
I'm
like
fine
half your
to put
dog
on screen. By the way,
yeah, we got our dog.
Fine to put
Can you get him on screen? I mean,
but
I don't want to mess
him. Meatball is. Let me see if I can get a shot of him. It's going to be a little hard because I'm all like attached to wires. But our dog is 90 pounds. He's enormous, to the point where people see him on the streets and stop because
he's a big dog,
stunned by what they're seeing.
I feel like a 60-pound cat would be like a panther. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a 60-pound cat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a 90-pound dog that's on my lap in that photo.
Like a cheetah or a panther, like a jungle cat or you know what I mean? Like that, a wild cat is probably 60 pounds.
Yeah, that's a a cat like that. I'm glad that Seth did the research that we couldn't quite put together.
That was really important.
I love that there was he seemed haunted. He seemed haunted by the memory of having watched this movie.
And I feel he watched it a while ago. And it seemed so alive. Total recall. And it seemed so alive for him. Because it probably my Zoom light just went out. I'm so sorry. I know I look like a monster now.
You look beautiful.
Here we go.
I know we just lost half the audience because my ring light went out.
Well, let me ask you this. Would we recommend this movie? Jason, would you recommend the film?
No! Do not watch this movie. Don't watch this movie. Or if you really need to, here's what I will say. You can fast forward.
Yeah.
You can fast forward because most of the songs are repetitive and the choreography is bad. The movie, you're not missing plot points because there aren't any. So if you want to see what's up because you're like, I don't know, I want to see what this craziness is about, go ahead. But it is nearly 2 hours long. It should be no minutes long. It is unpleasant to watch. It is unsettling. It will haunt my dreams. I don't want to be left alone in this house with my purchase of cats for fear that it will turn itself on without me wanting it to be on. I don't know what to do with its existence.
We are in spooky season right now, Jason.
I don't have the emotional capacity right now. I don't have the emotional capacity to have watched cats.
Yeah.
Really. This is a hard time.
Oh my gosh. All right. So June, would you recommend this movie?
I actually would. And mainly because I'm so upset I look so much better without this fucking ring light on, Paul. I'm never letting you set that again.
Well, I think that you understand how the ring lights work. I didn't know. I was trying to help you out.
It was way too bright. Anyway.
Do you want me to turn my lights off?
No, everybody else looks great. I'm now seeing that I should have tested some lighting here before I sat down.
I tried to do my best.
I know you did. Thank you. So I would, only for Jennifer Hudson's rendition of Memory, because because she really did something else, and she did what she had to do, and I thought it was wonderful. Again, I listened to it 3 times and then sang it myself. So just for that number alone, I would watch it. I thought that was just great.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I think we all agree. Her performance is the only performance in the movie that is even close to working, and it's wonderful.
I will say this. We watch so many movies on this show, and very rarely do we find something that is so uniquely like this goes into me the pantheon of the Miami Connections, the Rooms, and because it's not as enjoyable as those. Absolutely not. But it's as mind-boggling. I think you and I, June, looked at each other so many times like, what are we watching? Like, what are we watching? This is and unfortunately right now we're in a time where we can't go see it publicly. I know the Alamo Drafthouse had these like rowdy screenings that apparently are so much fun. That is how you should see this movie, with people. You need to look and embrace it. I mean, there is something on screen that is worthy of stop, hold on. Yeah, you got to get your eyeballs on. I highly recommend it. It's on HBO Max now, by the time you're listening to this. So why not enjoy a night, a beverage of choice, whatever you want to take, a pill of choice, or if you just want to watch it straight, it's fine. We watch it straight. A pill. Take a pill.
Give me that pill.
Get that pill.
Give me that pill.
Take that Matrix pill. Ooh. Well, Jason and June, this has been so much fun doing our first virtual show. Thank you to our amazing audience. I want to talk about a couple things before we kind of wrap it up, but I first just want to thank our amazing team behind the scenes. Everybody at On Location Live, they really helped us so much get this thing together and convince us this was something that was great to do. But the team that is so close to my heart is the team that produces this show every single week, and that is our amazing producer, Cody Fisher. Just awesome. We love Cody. Our sound engineer, Devin, who's going to have a hell of a time putting this together, as always, but is a master. And Molly Reynolds, amazing job. A big shout out to Nate Kiley, does all of our research. The ghost of Craig T. Nelson, who does some of our amazing animations. And so Kyle Waldron does amazing animations as well. We have so many great people. I've already talked about Avril Halley and how great she is. But now, I just want to draw our attention to 2 quick things. Number 1, there's a special episode of How Did This Get Made that is available right now. You can only hear it by downloading it. All the money is going to When We All Vote. You go to HDTGM.com. All the money is going there right now. It's a special episode where we do the Transformers films, and we actually talk to the people who terrorized us by sending us over 100 copies of that film in the last 2 years. Anything else that you all want to plug? I'm wearing a hat that says vote, and if you're in the States, I'll say that, yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say. Having now just watched Cats, our friend from comedy, Brett Gelman, did a stage show for a long time called 1000 Cats.
Oh, yes.
That I believe exists online because he shot it for Funny or Die.
Oh, my God.
So I think there is somewhere like a 20-minute cut of it cut together. And it is Brett Gelman
and it's doing...
It is brilliant, and it's basically what this movie, which I didn't realize, it's a savage commentary on this because it is him introducing, it's a one-man show where he introduces 1,000 cat
It's
characters.
amazing.
Baby cats, meow, goo goo gaga.
Yep.
Baby cats, I'm cat number 1. It's all musical theater tropes. It's all cat tropes. It's really very funny. I'm sure it exists somewhere.
Brett Gelman's 1,000 Cats. I just typed it in online. You can see it. It's on Funny or Die Presents on HBO, but you can watch it right here. It's you can see it online. It's one of the most amazing things. So good.
One of the greatest things I've ever seen happen, both live and we've all done the Telluride Comedy Festival before. And one year, Brett Gelman came and did 1,000 Cats in Telluride, and the audience revolted against him.
Tell
the
Your Right
audience of like
listen, I love
old,
love
of
them as I
old
do.
wealthy
Yes.
Telluridians was like, no,
They were
we
not
don't want
quite
this.
prepared. I mean,
Not
Brett
ready
Gelman
for it.
is in a unitard, a black unitard.
Yes.
That's like one,
Yep.
like it's like a woman's unitard, like a dance leotard, where sort of like half of his shoulders, a real scoop neck. I mean, I'll never forget the image of him in that.
It is
black unitard.
This is 22nd Street UCB, so this is probably 1999
Yeah, I
or
remember
2000
it.
that he did it, and I was like, it is an incredible show.
It is.
So very much worth. I'm glad you said it's somewhere, Paul?
If you type in 1,000 Cats online,
oh great,
and you can kind of find it.
To see that, and it's interesting because 1,000 Cats, like I remember, I love that show so much, and
We Are the Robot Cats. I mean, I remember lines from it.
It's so good, and it has what this movie does not, which is also just a sense of joy. There's nothing joyful about this film. And that's one of the reasons why I actually do love musicals, because I find them to be joy-filled. And this film, there's not an ounce of joy in any of the numbers. It is really actually quite depressing to be with these cats. I mean, I never knew what was going on with the cats, but to be with them in the dark, grim London streets at night was quite depressing.
While they're basically chasing the dream of death. You know what I mean? Like that's the story of the story of the play appears to be compete for the right to die.
Get us out of this horrible, horrible existence in which they seem to have the run of the land, but that's neither here nor there.
And now I'm like, what do these cats know that we don't? I mean, I don't know. I want to stop talking about this.
I wanted to give a shout out to a friend of the show, Kate Ward, who recently just had basically had COVID and had is recovering right now, and is just a friend and a fan of the show, and we see her tonight. So thank you, Kate. I'm glad that you are feeling better, and we are just sending you a lot of love.
Please wear a mask, everybody. Please wear a mask.
Please wear a mask. That brings us to the end of our live show. A big thank you to Paul F. Tompkins as Andrew Lloyd Webber and Seth Rogen for calling in with his second opinion. People, if you like this live show, we had so much fun doing it. We're coming back in December to do 2 back-to-back live shows. That's right, 2 live shows, 2 different movies on December 11th and December 18th. Each show is only $15, but if you buy a ticket for both, it is only $25. 2 amazing Christmas movies we'll be talking about. One with Melissa Joan Hart as a baker, so we're bringing her back into the Christmas mix, and another one with Vanessa Hudgens, who falls in love with a Christmas night. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Go to HDTGM.com to find out more information about both of those shows. And I just want to let you all know that if you buy a ticket for the show and you can't somehow make the live performance, it is available for you to watch for 48 hours after the live show. So you have all weekend to catch up and watch a show if you can't make it live. Although we love having you live because we take your questions, we do fun stuff with the audience, and like always, we cut out a little bit of the show. Now, I know we talked a lot about musicals today, but if you like documentaries, well, you're in luck. I directed a brand new documentary for Disney Plus all about the obscure characters in the Marvel universe. Now, you don't have to be a fan of Marvel. You don't have to know anything about comic books. You just have to like interesting stories. And this documentary series, where there are 8 new documentaries, all on Disney Plus under the title Marvel 616. I directed the one called Lost and Found. It has John Hamm and Nicole Byer, Rachel Bloom, Jack McBrayer, and so many more. Plus some of your favorite comic book creators like Reggie Hudlin and Donnie Cates and Jerry Duggan. It's really, really fun. I had such a great time going deep basically into the world of Marvel and having all those people help me launch a brand new Marvel franchise. Check it out only on Disney Plus. Marvel 616, my episode, Lost and Found. And just a reminder, you can always follow me on Twitch. I'm just twitch.tv/Paul Scheer. Rob Hubel and I host a show every single Thursday. It is so much fun. Jason has been a part of it. June has been a part of it. You will see us popping up, and we're going to be doing some other fun things after Thanksgiving and into the holidays. So keep your eye out on that. If you want to weigh in on this show, and I really do want you to weigh in on the show, please, please, please do. Tell us what you think about this episode by joining our mini episode, or you could just talk to me about your weird family at Thanksgiving. Give me a call at 619-PAUL-ASK. That's 619-PAUL-ASK. You can talk about anything and everything about cats or your life or your job or being stuck at home in quarantine. I am there for you. Let's do this, people. And a big, giant thanks to everyone behind the scenes who puts this show together. I'm talking about our super producer, Cody Fisher, who organized this entire thing. Molly Reynolds, who is working diligently behind the scenes to make sure all the clips and everything went off without a hitch on our first very live virtual show. Of course, Devin Bryant, our engineer supreme, who makes this all sound good even when June was talking into an iPhone like microphone. It was very bizarre. And a huge shout out to our producer, Avril Halley, who picks all of our movies. I mean, this was a no-brainer, but she is absolutely amazing because not only does she pick our movies, she picks our amazing clips. And Nate Kiley for his great research. I mean, on this one, there was so much. He did a bang-up job, as always. A big tip of the hat to Zach McAleese and, of course, Kyle Waldron, who do some of our amazing art, which you can find on our Facebook and Instagram page. And while I'm talking about that, please remember to rate and review the show. We need it. We love it. It helps other people find the show. Keep on telling people about the show. If you liked our live show, tell other people about it. We love doing them. We are so excited to spend some more time with you live virtually in December. Anyway, people, sign up for our mailing list, stay on top of everything, and we will see you next week.